54 ministers were sworn in today. It's a huge list. Adequate representation. There were upsets, as we just told you. There was an upset with the JDU. There was also an upset when people learnt that apart from Arun Jaitley, even Sushma Swaraj is not going to join the Union Council of Ministers. What was happening, and is this okay? Can Narendra Modi 2.0 be able to carry forward a Nara? What is Nara? The Prime Minister said that it will be an adequate mix of national ambitions and regional aspirations. Can Narendra Modi take forward the Nara in his second tenure? Also, through the course of this broadcast, we'll try and analyze who gets what, because that's where the suspense is going to lie going forward. Let me quickly introduce my guest this evening very quickly without wasting much time. Vinit Goenka is a political analyst, is with us. Sudhindra Kulkarni is an author, is also with us. Nilanjan Sarkar as well as Desh Ratan Nigam also joined me in the studio. Okay, let me first start with you, Mr. Kulkarni. If not Mr. Arun Jaitley for the finance portfolio, then who?
I think there is no need to speculate on this matter. It's a matter of a few hours or at the most tomorrow morning. At least I wouldn't like to be part of speculation. Okay. Who is going to get which ministry? No.
Okay, I would call that an intelligent answer, but let me attempt this again. Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni, what do you think are going to be the expectations from a new finance minister? What will the new finance minister
expectations from the new finance minister are obvious because India is facing an economic slowdown. India is facing a major job crisis in agriculture. There is distress in the rural economy for a long time. The major sector of the economy, that is the informal sector, which generates the largest number of employment opportunities, there is not much investment taking place. So the challenges before the economy, you know, India has to really tackle economy in a 360 degrees, especially attempting to both increase productivity in agriculture, rural economy, as well as jobs.
Okay.
Because the expectations from Modi 2.0 are enormously high, and these expectations have to be fulfilled as far as the economic aspirations are concerned in jobs for the youth.
Okay. Now, do you think that an Amit Shah can deliver all of this?
Who is this question directed at?
Well, smart. Very smart of you, Mr. Kulkarni. Okay, let me attempt once again with Mr. Vinit Goenka. See, my point is, I hope you analysts realize, political commentators and analysts realize, that the only suspense left now is that who will do what in this government. Right? Now, unless, of course, Mr. Goenka, you give in to the allegations. No, one moment. Unless you give in to the allegations that only one man is important in this government, and that is Narendra Modi. He decides and the others follow. I can live with no speculation, no thought. But that's unfortunately not true. He will need his Council of Ministers. He will need to act on their advice and not just centralize, as has been the allegation against him. So now, in that context, can you please tell me?
The selection. Sanket, I could barely hear you, but what I understand. Let me comment on that. I think the selection of the ministers is very nice, and they have either proved in the past or we have expectations from them. And then, as the last 5 years were performing 5 years, that performance will continue. The use of technology will be there, use of process changes will be there, a lot of policy changes will be seen, and I'm sure next 5 years will be the best 5 years of Indian democracy.
What about the upset with the JDU? Do you think that is going to... See, one is, of course, policy. One is, of course, future policy.
We don't have to jump right now. It's at the first day.
No, no, I don't think. I mean, you have
Sanket,
a challenge.
somebody can fix the echo. I can't hear myself.
Okay, Vineet
I'm
Goenka,
hearing myself.
I'll come back to you. I'll ask my producers to fix that echo. Let me come to you, Mr. Deshratan Nigam, as well as Nilanjan. Mr. Deshratan, you take this first. The very first day, 1 hour before the swearing in, you have the most critical ally saying, I'm not joining the government. Is this bad omen?
No, certainly not. You know, you have this is the first day and they can even come back after some time. But if they continue this kind of attitude, I think the JDU would be doing at its own peril.
Okay.
Because JDU from 2 MPs have gone to probably 16, 17 MPs now, and BJP accommodated, gave its 5 seats to them. The generosity.
Why are you assuming that the BJP has not benefited from this equation and it's only the JDU?
I'll tell you, when a party has only 2 MPs and BJP, given the momentum that BJP had, sacrificed its 5 seats and gave it to them.
Okay.
And that's the behavior like a big brother.
Okay.
And right now, if
that's exactly the problem. The allegation is that they are playing big brother.
Generous big brother.
A generous, okay.
Big brother.
Very generously you have thrown this word, generous big brother.
And let me tell you, see, Prime Minister's office will be overall supervising, and the PMO would be a very hard taskmaster. Perform or perish would be the mantra. And there has to be a lot of infrastructure push, rural. And we have to see whether in 2014 the situation of rural distress or employment has improved in 2019 or not. In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
And therefore, if it had not, there would have been immense amount of social unrest, given some reports at 47-year high or something. That is not
unemployment. No, but then those challenges remain.
No,
Mr. Deshratan Nigam.
no.
I hope you realize those challenges.
I was coming to that. There is an improvement from 2014. Yes, challenges remain. I'm not saying challenges don't remain.
Okay.
When you have a 130 crore population, this is humongous.
Okay.
But there is also a shift through microfinancing, Mudra Yojana kind of schemes, where self-employment is being promoted a lot.
Okay, fair enough. I think Mr. Vineet Goenka is back online. I'll come to you, Mr. Goenka, in just a short moment. Nilanjan, would you like to comment on that? Right on the first day, you've got an ally that is upset. We know how the equation has been. Modi, right at the beginning, even before the results were announced, through this generous dinner party for all the NDA allies.
Right.
On the day of the swearing in, one of those critical allies is now upset.
So, I mean, look, I think the question is how critical is the ally at the end of the day.
Are they critical?
I think when you see 303 seats, maybe not.
No, tell me something. How do you think the BJP attained a 300 par? It was because of these allies, because of these strategic alliances.
So, I mean, my own sense is that many of these strategic alliances, of course, they helped the BJP get to the point that they did, but also were struck in a time when the BJP may have thought that it was electorally weaker than it was with the Shiv Sena. I think that in retrospect, the BJP would have negotiated differently with a JDU or a Shiv Sena. I think the reality is that when we just look across the countryside.
So, you're saying that the BJP can afford or risk to lose them? They can take this risk?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, fine.
Let me add here.
Very quickly.
This government is very clear about national aspirations and regional aspirations.
Nara.
If I translate it in Hindi, it becomes Ram Ram. Rashtriya Mahatvakanksha and Rajki Mahatvakanksha. So this Nara, if I translate it to Ram Ram, is for everybody's benefit. And let me tell you, BJP is a very strong core. And around it would be, you may find still more people coming in and joining in.
See, one moment, Mr. Deshratan Nigam, I hope you realize. Let me take this to Vineet Goenka. Mr. Goenka, if you can hear me, the discussion over here is that when the Prime Minister says Nara, national ambition and regional aspirations, then it's the regional aspirations that are not being attended to. That's exactly what JDU is upset.
No.
They're upset about exactly this.
No, don't worry.
Where is the Ra in Nara?
Of course, they are with us, and you don't worry about this. I think probably in that day or two, things will be sorted out. And not only the current partners of NDA, let me tell you, those who are not currently the partners, even they can be friends. And the way things are going, it is quite possible. Not only JDU, but many other people will come along with us. So that is 1A. And today, it was a first start day. So there are priorities which were attended today. As the term progresses, things will also change. I think the next term will be more of technology, more of changes, more of regional aspirations, and Bihar plays an important role in the entire country's perspective. So you just have to wait for some time.
Okay.
Let there be an official.
Sudhin Kulkarni, let's talk about the equations within the Bharatiya Janata Party. And since we are not speculating, or you're not sticking your neck out and speculating, so we'll have to talk about these internal upsets if that is the case. Sushma Swaraj, the outgoing foreign minister, has tweeted at 10 p.m. sharp, exactly 11 minutes ago, where she says, प्रधानमंत्री जी, आपने 5 वर्षों तक मुझे विदेश मंत्री के तौर पर देशवासियों और प्रवासी भारतीयों की सेवा करने का मौका दिया और पूरे कार्यकाल में व्यक्तिगत तौर पर भी बहुत सम्मान दिया। मैं आपके प्रति बहुत आभारी हूं। हमारी सरकार बहुत यशस्विता से चले, प्रभु से मेरी यही प्रार्थना है। Now this is a beautiful message, but I am reading a hidden message as well. I can't help but being cynical over here. It's there on our screen. I can't help but being a little cynical in my assessment that there is more than that what meets the eye. Would you agree with my assessment, Mr. Kulkarni?
No, I want to go by face value. I don't want to read between the lines. We do not quite know why she is not in the government. As far as Arun Jaitley is concerned, he himself publicized the letter that he had written to the Prime Minister citing health reasons. Probably the same is the reason with Sushma ji also. But
Kulkarni,
I think that the
not
words that she has expressed in this tweet are heartfelt.
Yes. Mr. Kulkarni, I'm just saying, I'm sorry to cut you short, not one word in this tweet talks about her not willing to go forward. Of course, she did not contest elections. But unlike Mr. Arun Jaitley, who very categorically mentioned that I can't, I'm not well. This is a tweet that talks about, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. It does not talk about that I did not want to or I don't want to.
See, we really do not know the reasons why she is not part of this government. She has been for many, many years one of the leading lights of the BJP and also a leading minister in Vajpayee's government and in the first government of Narendra Modi. I do not want to speculate on why she is not here, except that she continues to be a very important political figure in India.
Yeah. Okay, Vineet Goenka, let me quickly come back to you, and then Nilanjan, you can also weigh in on this. Let's look at the list of people who did not find mention in this particular cabinet. And the names are as follows. We are going to discount Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj because we do not know the circumstances. Let's start looking at these names. Vineet Goenka, and I want your honest comment when I say the names Uma Bharti, Suresh Prabhu, Menaka Gandhi, Shiv Pratap Shukla, Jewel Oram, Rajvardhan Rathod, Suresh Prabhu, Anupriya Patel, JP Nadda, KJ Alphonse, SS Ahluwalia, Radha Mohan Singh, Biren Singh, Vijay Sampla, Anand Geete, Subhash Bhamre, Jayant Sinha, Dr. Mahesh Sharma, and the list goes on. Vijay Goyal, PP Chaudhary. That's a long list, and if you are trying to tell me that non-performers have been removed and performance has been rewarded, well, you've got quite a lot of non-performers there.
So, well, in a democracy, there are two words, liberty and compulsions. You are a journalist, you have a liberty to speak whatever you want to have. The government have compulsions of delivery and also the compulsions of today. And I think the compulsions of today tells that these are the 55 people who will lead. There may be more names, there may be more roles, there may be bigger roles for the people who have not been inducted today. Can you tell me with confidence that names which you read will not get bigger role tomorrow? There
Well,
may be
I
something
don't
which
know. I mean, they're not
And
ministers.
There is
So
a compulsion of the PM not to share it with you
the
right now.
government- No, one
So,
more,
you know,
Vineet.
you have a liberty to speak
Vineet,
what
no,
you
no,
have in your
no,
mind,
no.
and the Prime Minister has a compulsion not to share it with you right now.
Very quickly, Mr. Kulkarni, what is your assessment of these names? When the government says that performance has been rewarded, then does that mean that these are the names of the people, this huge long laundry list of people are non-performers?
There were certain performers who are not included in the government. Most certainly Suresh Prabhu. He has handled many ministries and very creditably so far. So we do not know why he is not there. And we do not know whether there is some other responsibility for him. But I would like to mention that amongst the people who are included in the Council of Ministers, there are a few persons who are really not known for high performance. Sadanand Gowda, for example.
Very
Similarly,
very
in
interesting
education,
point.
HRD ministry, 5 years, there were 2 ministers, 2 high-powered committees to formulate the new education policy. And the new education policy did not come out in 5 years. So, education, HRD has been a big letdown in Modi 1.0. We really do not know whether there will be a competent and a visionary minister for something as crucial as education.
Okay. Very significant point. What I'll do is, let's quickly take a short break at this moment. When we come back, we will discuss whether Modi 2.0 will have some improvements. The point that Mr. Sudhin Kulkarni is making, that the track record of those who have made the cut is also not something to write home about. So are we to expect a Modi 2.1 like a midterm upgrade with the form of a cabinet reshuffle, or am I speaking too soon? We'll take a short break, be right back. So exactly 1 minute ago, Amit Shah, the new union minister in the Modi cabinet, has tweeted. He says, historic moment for the entire country. Congratulations to Narendra Modi on being sworn in as Prime Minister of India for a second consecutive term. I'm sure India will continue to scale new heights under your able leadership. But the point over here is, Mr. Kulkarni, Nilanjan as well as Desh Ratan Nigam, very quickly. Mr. Kulkarni, non-performers, if performance was rewarded, then this is a long list of non-performers. Call me cynical if you may, but my point is this is a reflection on someone's leadership.
No, I think that we should not come to any hasty judgment like this. Nevertheless, what we are seeing is more of continuity and less of change.
Okay.
There are many new faces at the MOS, independent charge, and MOS. We really do not know whether there are some new stars in the making. One hopes that there is new blood, new capability, but as far as the cabinet ministers concerned, except 2 new faces, Amit Shah and Dr. Jaishankar, it is more of the same.
Okay.
In Modi 2.0, one thing that has to change is the belief that the Prime Minister's office can govern all the ministries and can direct all the ministries to perform. India is too big. India is too complex.
But will it happen? That's the point. You're making a really valid point. I heard you make it earlier also in the program. But can it happen? Can you see it happening? I don't think so. I feel there's further concentration of power.
You know, we have to wait and see. But
Fair enough.
The people's expectations have gone up very high.
Okay.
Especially on the economic front, rural development, agriculture,
Okay.
above all jobs. Therefore, unless all the ministers perform significantly better than in the past 5 years, you know, let's recall this very important fact that the Modi government has not come back to power on the basis of its performance. It is more because of certain other factors
What
that
are the
came
other
into
factors?
play just before the election.
Other factors.
Which
Please
is why
define other
national
factors.
security,
Mr. Kulkarni,
nationalism,
define
they
other
came
factors.
to the fore.
Define other factors.
No, I mean, it is not because of excellent performance on the economic front, on agriculture, on job creation that this government has come back to power.
Okay.
More because of certain emotive issues,
Okay.
polarization plus national security and nationalism.
Right to reply to Desh Ratan Nigam as well as Vineet Goenka. Desh Ratan Nigam, you go first.
As I said earlier also, when you say this government has not performed well, as Sudhin Kulkarni says, you have to compare it 2014. What was the situation in 2014 vis-a-vis three parameters? Inflation, corruption and employment. Now, inflation and corruption was not an issue this time. So far as employment is concerned, the situation that existed in 2014 is we are much better off in 2019. You have the CII report, you have the NASSCOM report, these are independent agencies. They have very clearly laid down that self-employment and MSMEs, it has come out.
Running out of time.
And secondly, what you're calling non-performers, the number of ministers can go up to 80, which is still open. And there could be other places that their expertise can be used, and there are other open areas still left.
No.
So
I said what I did.
You cannot say that they have been punished.
You
cannot say that they have been punished.
The reason why I made that comment, because all through the day you have heard commentator after commentator and minister after minister saying that performance has been rewarded. Well then, if these people are out, a natural deduction is that they are non-performers. Simple, nothing else.
No, that cannot be a conclusion.
Okay, fair enough.
I think, I mean, it's an oversimplification. Obviously, there are political calculations that go into ministers. Performance is a major calculation. To me, as I said earlier, I think the big forward-looking point here is that this is Modi's mandate. It's 300 plus alone for BJP. They control a lot of states. They're going to have to perform quickly and efficiently on a number of factors.
Okay, fine. Completely running out of time. Thank you very much, Sudhin Kulkarni, Vineet Goenka, Nilanjan, as well as Desh Ratan Nigam. A very interesting mix of ministers from all over the states. Haryana has 10 MPs, but 3 ministers. Fantastic way to decode this. This is not ending anytime soon. We'll continue with our broadcast right here on NDTV 24/7. Stay with us.